It's still warm there, is you feel it?
This is warm as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of current going through it, I think.
Yeah. Because what I can't understand... what have I done with them pliers? Jeff's having a look at the car and we've noticed there's like... this thing is hot.
Really hot.
How's that connected on there, Jeff?
Spade connectors.
Are they? No,
Yeah.
they're screws. Oh, it is. Yeah, just pull them off, and then we'll look to see which one's live.
There you go.
But that was all getting a bit warm, weren't it?
It was a little bit.
Mm.
And that demister was certainly getting a bit warmer too.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, I feel it.
No.
No, it's cooling off, Mark, but you can still feel that it's above room temperature.
Yeah, yeah. Only the middle thing is done up, innit?
Oh, there, yeah.
Feel the clutch, Jeff. Ah, that's better than it was. I pressed it down earlier and it went down, and then after a while it came back up. It is coming up, innit, slowly. That's actually working, innit? You'd have a bit of a slow pickup, you know, from rest, but...
Yeah, it's working at the bottom, that is. Yeah, that's your clutch.
Hey,
That's your clutch there.
Hey, Jeff, it runs. It runs.
No.
The clutch
Does the
works.
handbrake work? Does the
I don't know,
handbrake
I
work?
imagine so.
Yeah, look, that's all right. You feel that?
Yeah,
That's all right.
it's all right now, yeah. I only pressed it once and it didn't come back up.
Ah, right. So,
But I had it in gear and I could move the car without turning the engine. And then after a while, I tried to turn the motor and it started trying to move the car, so it had engaged again. So one of these is live, isn't it, Jeff?
I'm trying to reverse as well. One of them is live when the battery's connected, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've got my things somewhere. Right, three clicks to the left, I think, to the 20 mark.
Yeah. 20.
And then
yeah.
Earth.
One unearthed. Right. Let's try this again. Oh, 9, 11.
So
11,
that's
10.
live. Okay.
Minus 12.33.
Yep. Well,
So
because
that's your live.
it's POS, you see, POS Earth.
That's
so-
your live.
Okay. Let's put a bit of tape on it now. I just wondered if the oil light goes off when it starts. Yeah. It goes off when it's cranking. Let's put some petrol down the car. That's good, isn't it? That it goes off while it's just cranking. There's only a tiny bit there now. Just put that in. It's got good oil pressure, hasn't it? Because that light didn't come on for ages then. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Here's the coil. Black with a blue trace. Comes from... the ignition switch. I think that's the combination ignition and lighting switch, isn't it? So the black with the blue trace comes to the ignition. The green one also connects to it. Oh, that's the brake lights feed. So the green one is the brake light feed. Okay. And then the other one, oh, is for the horn. Okay, And the other one there goes up there, yellow with a green trace, yep, is the feed for the horn. Okay, so basically those two wires need to be connected to the other side of there. I might have this the wrong way around. So these both need a feed from the ignition, and they get it by being connected on here. Okay, and one's the brake light switch and one's the horn. So I might take this coil off and have a look at it and look to see which way around it's supposed to be connected. I might look for some part numbers and see if I can work out what sort of coil it is and whether it's supposed to be run through a ballast. I want one that isn't run through a ballast. Okay, that's interesting then. I've got this old workshop manual which I transposed into this ring binder, and this because this says 1953 to February 55, and I'm looking at this flasher unit and I don't think mine is like that. I think mine is like this because I have a indicator warning light there. So I think this car must be post February 55. Right, okay, I'll do a little bit of investigating. I'm going to just see if I can put a bit of super glue on there and glue that on like that, just to stop it dangling down. Okay, right, that'll be alright I think. Better than it all hanging off, isn't it? Okay, we'll leave that like that then, and I'll take that tape off tomorrow. I need to look up a few things and order some parts. I need to look up brake cylinder diameters and the master cylinder diameter. I think they're 5/8 actually, it probably says it on it. I'm not sure if the brake is a 3/4. No, I think it's 5/8. Look, you can see it written on it, look. Oh, that's 3/4. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? So that one's 3/4, look. And that one's 5/8. It's good that it's written on there. Okay. I think that's it, 3/4. 3/4, is it? Or is it another 5/8? Definitely 5/8. That's 5/8. They're both 5/8, aren't they? Okay, fair enough. Good. Right. Stop recording. I just took the tape off there, just the last piece here. You know, I'm just faffing about. Okay, it's all right. Right, good. Okay, I've done a bit of research, and it seems that these brakes, because of the year of the car, are a little bit harder to find the parts for. They changed the brakes in something like late 57, and this is a 55, and the parts for these brakes are much more expensive than the parts for the later brakes. So I'm going to see if I can get some backing plates for the later brakes, because I can buy like complete front suspension unit, you know, second hand, and take the back plates off, and I can buy new cylinders and things cheaper than trying to buy cylinders for these. Although I haven't looked at these yet. I might have a look at them anyway, but I'm just weighing up my options. What's annoying to me is that I've had all these parts and chucked them away in the past. I also noticed that this headlamp thing isn't attached. There should be a screw in the bottom there, and that should be retained in there. And this, like I said, there's supposed to be a stud that goes in there that goes through that hole there. That's also non-standard. That's standard, I think, from memory. That's non-standard. And there's a blob of filler there, look. And I think that's what they did. They just put a blob of filler there and a blob of filler there, and they just stuck these on. But this one appears to be loose at the top and tight at the bottom, so I think it's actually still stuck on the filler, because that one also doesn't have a screw in it. Yeah, I'm a little bit, I don't mind admitting, I'm a little bit overwhelmed at the moment with, you know, trying to weigh up how to tackle this. I haven't thought it all through in my mind, which is where I do most of my thinking. This wheel arch is a bit, well, it's not even attached. Yeah, so I need to get all the brakes apart and have a look at the brakes. It's a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? I could completely refurbish all the running gear. I'm not going to, but I could. But still have a stumbling block that the car is so rusty it shouldn't be on the road. So I think, to be honest, the thing to look at first is seeing what would be required to make the structure of the car safe. Maybe not restored, but just safe. The reason I'm saying that is because you can buy new sills. I think you can buy inner sills, you can buy sills, you can buy all sorts of repair panels, and you can buy a new rear valance. You can buy a boot floor as well, I think. You can buy all these parts. The problem is the price would just go boom, 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 and you'd spend more than what you could buy a better car for. So I don't really want to do that, because the 100e isn't my dream car, forever car. This is just something to mess about with. So what I'm thinking is to do it sort of without spending too much money, but also without spending too much time. I don't mind spending a bit of time, but to do it, make it safe, get it driving, drive it. I think one of the things I want to do is to get it running on its own fuel system, you know, with the radiator on and coolant in. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good, and it probably wouldn't take a lot of time, money or effort to do that. And then cherry pick the heavy hitters on the structural repairs, like around the back end. Maybe do like a simplified version that makes it safe. Because I was just looking in the back here. I haven't got the light on the camera. I was just looking in the back here, which the camera seems to go. You can see that this part, should be here. So the whole boot floor needs jacking up and then attaching to this rear panel where it can. Yeah, this boot floor is bent down in this area. I think just little bit by little bit I'll try and improve it. But I think the boot floor is the worst part of the car. That's the real job stopper, isn't it? I offered the rear bumper on, and the rear bumper has like a filler panel that comes all the way along there. So it actually looks a lot better with the bumper on. What I might do is attach the boot floor to the rear panel by fair means or foul, and then make just a simple valance that's more or less flat. The reason I'm saying that is because it is hidden behind the bumper, and then bolt it all together and make some bumper mounts as well. So there'll be something attached to the box rails coming back with a flange on each side, and then go back till I find good metal to weld to, and then fix the bumper on and make it look better. And the other thing is, should I give it a wash? Probably would be a good idea to give it a wash. Sorry, it's my Roadster's in the way. Yes, it looks a bit sorry for itself, doesn't it? Okay. All right, okay, I'll continue to mess about with it, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Taking this one off. I'd got this one, which is actually chrome. Unfortunately, I didn't realise it, but I only appear to have one, which I cannot understand why I'd only have one of them. I thought I got a pair. I was going to put those ones on, which would have been nice, but I haven't got a pair. But I have got two that have got the studs on the back. Okay. Righto, I will stop faffing and I will come back when I'm ready to do a little bit. Okay, back in a bit. I didn't film it because my phone was on charge, but I've taken the petrol tank out. Well, that looks like a proper repair panel there. The right shape. Looks like it's welded in such a way that it could cause more rust in the future along this area here. So it might be worth kind of cutting that out and welding it in again. Do a proper butt weld. See where the petrol tank sits, and this is where you often have. These are the straps that hold it in. So they go in there and in there. So those need to be kept safe. This all looks okay. Well, within reason. This needs to come out because this is like a felt mat that the tank sits on. That looks like a bit of rag that's kind of got a paper towel or something that's kind of got stuffed under it. So you need to get that out of the way so that you can avoid having rust under the tank. Well, there is rust under the tank, but luckily the tank is okay. So we know the box section's under here, don't we? Oh, yeah, I came in with a long extension and a really good quality socket on the bolts, and they did go. They took a bit of turning, but they did go. Oh, I took the harnesses out as well, so that I can not have the wires running across this area here. Near side. This is what we call the near side in England. You know, if you drive in, that's the near side to the curb, and that's what they call the offside. Okay. You know the job's started, don't you, when there's loads of debris on the floor? Okay. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you that the tank has come out. I'll put the phone back on charge, and I'll carry on. Yeah, interesting that that's like that, isn't it? You can see where they welded it, look. Looks like it's in the right place, maybe. Maybe a bit. It looks like it's a bit low, but I don't have another car here to compare it with. Okay, I'll find my tools and carry on. I've continued to work on the car while the phone was on charge. I didn't show it, but this appeared to be bent, as if there had been some sort of impact damage at the back of the car here, pushing this forward. It probably is a little bit bent, but I've kind of straightened it out because you can see where this piece has to join onto this piece. You know, this is my key sort of datum as to where the back panel has to fit to the boot floor. Yeah, so I started bending this piece up, and that'll just break off. So that was just welded over, so it's all rusty underneath it. Yeah, crap repair from years ago. And I've disconnected the wiring from those lights there, and it's just lying across there now, kind of out of harm's way. It's funny how there's like bright shiny metal under some of the paint. It shows that if you could get it all to stick like that bit did, you know, you'd be laughing, wouldn't you? I'm sort of wondering whether to just get something and kind of tack it to here and tack it to there as a, you know, to get a stake in the ground as to where it should be. Okay. Right, okay. You have to break an egg, don't you, to make an omelette? Righto, I will bring you back when there's more to show. I've cut a piece of metal. I had some shelf units, so I've cut the angles off the shelves, the ends of the shelves, and I've left the middle of the shelf. And I've kind of formed it to go across here. So it's kind of just sticking out like that. And I've drawn along the edge of here. I've drawn along the edge there. So I'm going to trim it just this side of the line. The box section is underneath this. I've got to cut this away and get rid of this piece here. Get rid of the spot welds there. Then I can lay this piece in, and then I'll do a cut and butt all the way along here, and then I'll go through there with plug welds, and it'll come out to this edge here, I hope. That's the idea anyway. I've tried to build into it a sort of this feature here, that feature there, the dip and rise. I tried to build that into it, so again it's not going for Pebble Beach, so it doesn't have to be too fussy, but it would be like to make it look something like the original, wouldn't it? That's it for today's session. At least I've made a start, haven't I? I've chosen which job to tackle first. Any journey starts with a small step, doesn't it? And that small step means getting off your arse. I did a couple of tacks down there just to hold the back panel and the floor in some sort of alignment. Okay, right, but yeah, it'd be good to get this back panel reattached to the floor, wouldn't it? Okay, and what I envisage is to use these to kind of make the angle there. Righto, okay, I'll do a bit more tomorrow. See you then, bye. Hello, right, I've had a little hack about, and I've cut out that part there, and I was going to sort of try and take these pieces off so that I could weld to the top of these, but I've just looked underneath, and what you can see here, there's like a repair been welded on. The bottom of it looks a bit compromised. Looking underneath from the back, this piece was welded on, and there's a hole there. So what I think I want to do is lose this completely. What I'm sort of quite pleased about is if I've got my hand here underneath the light, if I push up and down, everything goes together. It isn't like this piece is going like this and that's staying still. The structural integrity of the whole vehicle isn't seriously compromised and it's not all flexing about. I need to just work out what I'm going to do here, and I think get rid of any old repairs is a good thing and only have my own repairs. So I think what I'll do, I think I'll just slice straight across there from above, and then slice from about here like that, and then maybe down at an angle like that. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do it. I'll just kind of muddle through and work it out as I go. Okay, right, back in a bit. Kind of just ground that a little bit there to allow me to weld in that area. It's looking a bit frilly here. This is where the box section is there, underneath, in that area there. This bit's no good, so I won't try welding to that. Really, this piece here ought to be replaced. I think I might just try and get my piece in here, and then try and look at how to do that piece, and then worry about the box section after. I might only tack it in case I need to cut it out. Yeah, let's get it in and tacked, and then look at this area. Maybe just concentrate on the one side, and then see what comes next. If I need to cut it out to do the box section, yeah, okay. But let's try and get the back of the car joint to the boot floor at least. Hello, right, I've just spent some time taking the paint off the repair panel there, the one that I've made from a shelf panel. I've cut the top off the box section and peeled it back and ground up the little bits that are left, and ground up the little bits of the box section, the top hat bit, so I can do a plug weld there. And I'm going to tack here, 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 here and there, and get this piece into place. Just before I do it, I might hammer and dolly this a little bit, try and get this looking a little bit better. Then I can weld a bracket down there. Anyway, I'm making progress, although painfully slow progress. What I want to do is get this attached to that, kind of take care of the worst part of the car. Not that the rest of it's much better, but you know, hey. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, well, you saw me doing the tacking there. It took 3 goes to get that one to take. That one's out. These are okay. That one is okay, but that one burnt through. I'm right on the edge of the metal, and I've got the welder on its lowest setting, but it does feel quite solid actually. Feels nice and solid. Okay, good. I've never done the cut and butt, but I'm going to give it a go. I could just try welding it, to be honest. It's only got a very small overlap. You know, it's not an outer body panel, it's the boot floor. Okay, anyway, that's the idea. And then the idea is to attach the outer skin to this piece. to do which I need to make a piece to go in between them. What you have to understand is I'm not a sheet metal worker. If you want good sheet metal working, you need to go and watch Cold War Motors or Kyle Carter at Carter Auto Restyling or RAC Garage. There you will see some people that can work with sheet metal. I mean, a tiny little pinhole here and there isn't going to hurt anything, I suppose. But that's quite nice and solid now, just with those tacks. Okay, I need to kind of just get going and keep going, don't I, on this job? This is going to be a job, isn't it, to build this? I mean, I could have done it before I fitted this piece, but I think no, it'll be okay to kind of do it, you know, after the event. Okay, righto. I will decide if I want to make another one for that side, or if I want to kind of explore what I'm going to do along here. I've taken a piece of metal, one of those right angle pieces, and I kind of flattened it out a bit to make it less than a right angle. And Jeff, my friend, has very kindly lent me his shrinker stretcher. So I put a little stretch there, because this changes shape at that point there. So this kind of fits in, and it kind of fits in there quite well. I put a little joggle there. It fits okay in here. So what I'm just thinking about is, what I think I'll do is I'll cut this up here like that. I probably won't go as high over there. I might cut it, because you've got to take account of that part there, you see. So if I take this piece and put it on this side, you can see that there's plenty of metal there. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll take this, scribe a line, and then cut it below the line, because I know where my metal is, don't I? If I scribe a line, then I can cut it below the line, but not by much, you know. I don't have much to spare here. So I'll put this on. Can you see that there's a bend in it? Look, and that it's not 90 degrees. Yeah, so I'll put it on and scribe a line, and what I'll probably do is spot weld it along here like that. That's why I've got it nice and clean. And then what I'll do afterwards is I'll fold this lip down, I'll bend this lip down and then trim it. So I think that's looking okay. I think this might work. The other thing I did, although it's not really pretty, is to just put a little right angle piece to hold this to this. Okay, it's taking shape. Taking a long time, but taking shape. Back in a bit. Okay, got a tack there. Well, you can see where the tacks are. 4 tacks. That's all I'm going to do because it's quite late actually. I might do a few more, but don't forget, what I want to do is a cut and butt. So I need to cut between the 2 pieces and weld it. My problem is that my long reach clamps don't quite reach. I could do some longer ones really, but it is working, and I have been able to lift the boot floor to meet it in that area there where I put the 2 tacks there. So that's okay, I think. Yeah, looking pretty good really. Okay, this is kind of just establishing the principle rather than going straight for the finished job. And the other thing I need to do is to see if my spot welder works, but that's looking a lot more secure now. Yes, it's looking good. Okay, you can tell as I'm talking to the camera, I'm kind of working out for myself, is this okay? I think it is okay. So that side, you know, it is, I know it's only tacked in, but the 2 panels are made and it don't look too bad. Yes, I'm quite pleased with that. It's a long laborious process, especially when you have to strip all the paint off the metal, but it's nice new clean metal underneath. Well, you know the deal. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then. Bye. I just went and got the tax disc out of the car. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me much. Well, it does tell me a little bit, but it doesn't tell me the number of the car. You can't see any of the writing on it, where they wrote on it, because they would have just wrote it on with a ballpoint pen. You can't even see if they put 6 or 12 months there. But what it does say is Peterhead, Aberdeenshire. In 1982, this car was in Scotland, and I would say it'd be on its original number, and I can't see what that original number was. Unfortunately, there's only this one tax disc. The keys say Bayview Garage, Peterhead. But interesting that matches up though, doesn't it? So the car was brought down from Scotland after, probably after it went off the road. Interesting. And it was probably brought down to sell the number plate off it, and then the registration that's on it is like a reissued registration that gets issued by the DVLA when a number plate is taken off. Okay, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Well, it's interesting to me. Don't know about you. Okay, righto. Catch you later.